What if the fish on your plate could actually help reverse diabetes damage? In this video, we reveal 8 powerful fish that don't just avoid spiking blood sugar, they actively support insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, protect your heart, repair nerve damage, and nourish your kidneys. Each fish works in a different way, and you'll also get one simple diabetic-friendly recipe for each, so you can start healing with food today. Some of these fish are rich and well-known, others are surprisingly affordable and often overlooked. And stay with me, because at the very end, you'll get the ultimate fish buying guide for diabetics. What to choose, what to avoid, and how to shop smarter for better blood sugar control. One of these fish might already be sitting in your pantry, and it could change everything. First on list, salmon. Salmon is one of the most powerful fish for people with type 2 diabetes, not just because it has zero carbs and a glycemic index of 0, but because it actively helps reverse some of the hidden damage high blood sugar causes. A 3.5-ounce cooked fillet delivers about 200 calories, 22 grams of high-quality protein, which is 44% of the daily value, and over 2,260 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These compounds improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and help lower triglyceride levels, which are often elevated in diabetics. More importantly, omega-3s support blood vessel health by reducing endothelial dysfunction, a root cause of diabetic complications like nerve pain, retinopathy, and kidney damage. Salmon also provides 62% of the daily value for vitamin B12, which is crucial for protecting nerves, and over 55% for selenium, a mineral linked to lower oxidative stress and better immune balance. The protein in salmon helps slow digestion, reducing post-meal glucose spikes and keeping you full longer. That makes it a smart dinner choice, especially when paired with fiber-rich vegetables like spinach or Brussels sprouts. But one of the biggest myths about fish like salmon is that it needs to be fried for flavor. In reality, frying in seed oils can increase insulin resistance. Instead, baking or grilling salmon with olive oil, garlic, lemon, and herbs preserves its benefits and enhances taste without harming your metabolism. A simple diabetic-friendly recipe: season a 4-ounce salmon fillet with lemon juice, crushed garlic, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. Bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 18 minutes. Serve with a side of roasted cauliflower or steamed kale. This combo keeps your net carbs low, supports satiety, and nourishes your nerves and heart. As a precaution, people taking blood thinners should speak to their healthcare provider before eating large amounts of salmon daily. The natural omega-3s in salmon can slightly reduce blood clotting, which may interact with medications. For most diabetics, however, salmon is a deeply healing, protective food that helps stabilize blood sugar, support vascular health, and rebuild insulin sensitivity without the glucose spike. If you thought salmon was powerful, wait until you hear about the next fish. It's just as rich in healing fats, but often flies under the radar, and it could be the key to calming inflammation and protecting diabetic nerves. Second on list, trout. Trout might not get the spotlight like salmon, but it offers many of the same powerful benefits for people with diabetes without the high price tag. With a glycemic index of 0 and absolutely no carbohydrates, trout won't cause any spike in blood sugar, but its real power lies in its high omega-3 content, lean protein, and micronutrient density. A 3.5-ounce cooked fillet of rainbow trout delivers about 180 calories, 20 grams of complete protein, which is 40% of the daily value, and roughly 950 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. While its omega-3 levels are slightly lower than salmon, they're still high enough to reduce inflammation, support insulin sensitivity, and help protect your blood vessels from the slow damage of elevated glucose. That same serving gives you over 90% of the daily value for vitamin B12, along with excellent amounts of vitamin D, phosphorus, and potassium. Nutrients that support nerve repair, bone strength, and stable energy in diabetics. Because it's slightly leaner, trout digests easily and helps control hunger without raising blood sugar. A common myth is that trout is too bland to enjoy without frying. In truth, trout has a naturally delicate, buttery flavor that shines when lightly seasoned and pan-seared or baked. Frying it in heavy oil increases inflammation and cancels its benefits. For a simple diabetes-friendly dinner, bake a 4-ounce trout fillet, roughly the size of your palm, with lemon slices, fresh rosemary, olive oil, and black pepper at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. Pair it with roasted zucchini or sautéed spinach for a blood sugar calming meal packed with flavor and fiber. As a rule, diabetics should aim for no more than 4 ounces of cooked fish per meal to avoid excess protein load while still getting the full benefit. A quick precaution: while trout is generally low in mercury, be mindful of the source. Wild-caught trout from clean waters is best. For people managing type 2 diabetes, trout is an affordable, healing fish that protects the heart, reduces insulin resistance, and helps rebuild nerve function without ever spiking glucose. Now let's move from a larger fillet to something much smaller, yet shockingly more concentrated in nutrients. This tiny fish might be the single most underrated tool for reducing A1C and guarding your heart. Third on list, sardines. Sardines may be small, but for people with type 2 diabetes, they deliver some of the biggest health benefits per bite. With a glycemic index of 0 and no carbohydrates or sugar, sardines have no impact on blood glucose. And that's just the beginning. A 3.75-ounce can of sardines packed in water delivers about 190 calories, 22 grams of high-quality protein, 44% of the daily value, and nearly 1,400 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. These omega-3s are powerful inflammation fighters that improve insulin sensitivity, protect the inner lining of blood vessels, and reduce triglyceride levels. Sardines are also one of the richest natural sources of vitamin B12, providing over 300% of the daily value in just one can, which is essential for nerve protection, especially for diabetics at risk of neuropathy. You'll also get about 35% of the daily value for calcium, 45% for selenium, and significant amounts of vitamin D, phosphorus, and iron, all nutrients that support heart, nerve, and metabolic health. Because they're naturally rich in protein and healthy fats, sardines promote satiety and stabilize blood sugar without adding excess calories or carbs. One common myth is that canned fish like sardines are unhealthy. The truth is, sardines, especially when packed in water or olive oil, are among the cleanest, most nutrient-dense canned proteins available. Just avoid varieties packed in soybean oil or heavy sauces, which can contain pro-inflammatory additives. For a quick diabetic-friendly meal, mash one 3.75-ounce can of sardines with chopped cucumber, avocado, lemon juice, black pepper, and a pinch of sea salt. Spread on whole grain toast or wrap in lettuce leaves for a satisfying, blood sugar-stable lunch. Portion control is key. Stick to 1 can per serving, roughly 3.75 ounces, which gives you a full therapeutic dose of nutrients without overloading sodium. As a precaution, sardines can be high in natural purines, which may not be ideal for people with gout. But for most people with diabetes, sardines are an inexpensive, shelf-stable powerhouse that helps lower A1C, protect the heart and nerves, and calm the inflammation that drives diabetic complications, without ever touching your glucose. The next one brings rich, savory flavor and powerful anti-inflammatory effects. But most people overlook it because of its strong reputation. When prepared right, it becomes a diabetic powerhouse. Fourth on list, herring. Herring is one of the most nutrient-dense fatty fish for diabetics, offering powerful blood sugar support and deep healing benefits for the heart, brain, and nerves. Like other oily fish, herring has a glycemic index of 0 and contains no carbohydrates, so it has absolutely no effect on blood glucose. But what sets it apart is its exceptional omega-3 content. A 3.5-ounce cooked fillet of Atlantic herring delivers about 210 calories, 23 grams of protein, 46% of the daily value, and roughly 2,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, including both EPA and DHA. These fats help reduce systemic inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and protect against the vascular damage that leads to diabetic complications like neuropathy and kidney stress. Herring is also a vitamin D powerhouse, supplying up to 200% of the daily value per serving, critical for immune balance and blood sugar regulation. On top of that, it delivers over 300% of the daily value for vitamin B12, 35% for selenium, and meaningful amounts of phosphorus, potassium, and iron, all key to healing the damage diabetes causes inside the body. Despite its oily nature, herring is surprisingly digestible and keeps you full longer, helping reduce blood sugar swings and appetite crashes. One persistent myth is that herring is too fishy to enjoy, but this mostly applies to pickled or heavily processed versions. Fresh or frozen fillets, when pan-seared or grilled with garlic, mustard, lemon, and olive oil, have a rich, savory flavor that works beautifully in diabetic-friendly dishes. For a healing meal, cook a 4-ounce herring fillet with lemon juice and crushed dill, serve over a bed of arugula and cherry tomatoes, and drizzle with extra virgin olive oil. Stick to 3.5 to 4-ounce fillet per serving, which gives you the full therapeutic dose of omega-3s and vitamin D without excess calories or sodium. As a precaution, avoid pickled herring if you're sensitive to salt, as some versions can contain over 700 milligrams of sodium per serving. For most diabetics, fresh herring is a deeply healing option that supports stable blood sugar, nourishes the nerves, and fuels recovery from the inside out. Next, we'll explore a fish so small it often gets tossed aside, but it holds surprising benefits for insulin sensitivity, nerve repair, and metabolic balance. You'll never look at it the same again. Fifth on list, anchovies. Anchovies may be small in size, but when it comes to supporting diabetic health, they deliver powerful results in every bite. With zero carbohydrates and a glycemic index of 0, anchovies don't raise blood sugar at all, but they do go to work deep inside the body. Just 1 2-ounce serving of canned anchovies in olive oil provides around 95 calories, 13 grams of protein, 26% of the daily value, and over 950 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats improve insulin sensitivity, calm chronic inflammation, and help reduce triglyceride levels, a key cardiovascular risk in people with diabetes. Anchovies are also one of the richest sources of calcium among fish, offering up to 20% of the daily value per small serving due to their edible bones. That same 2-ounce portion also delivers over 100% of the daily value for vitamin B12, 30% for selenium, and meaningful levels of iron and phosphorus, all of which are crucial for nerve function, metabolic repair, and blood sugar regulation. One common myth is that anchovies are too salty and only used on pizza. In truth, high-quality anchovies packed in olive oil have a bold, savory flavor that works beautifully in diabetic-friendly meals. They melt into sauces, dressings, and sautés, boosting umami flavor without raising glucose. For a blood sugar stabilizing snack or side, mash 2 or 3 anchovies into a homemade vinaigrette with lemon juice, olive oil, garlic, and parsley, and drizzle over steamed kale or grilled zucchini. This adds protein, omega-3s, and deep flavor with minimal effort. Portion control is key, especially with sodium. Stick to 2 ounces per serving, roughly 6 to 8 fillets, which gives you therapeutic benefits without overdoing salt. As a precaution, always check the label. Some canned anchovies in brine or sauces can contain over 500 milligrams of sodium per ounce. Choose anchovies in olive oil whenever possible for the best balance of taste and health. For diabetics looking to stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and nourish their heart, brain, and nerves, anchovies are one of the most potent mini superfoods in the sea. What follows is a bold, fatty fish that rivals salmon in omega-3s. It's not only protective for the heart and nerves, it can also help reverse some of the cellular inflammation linked to insulin resistance. Sixth on list, mackerel. Mackerel is one of the most overlooked yet powerful fish for diabetics, offering unmatched support for insulin sensitivity, heart protection, and nerve repair. Like other oily fish, mackerel has a glycemic index of 0 and contains no carbs or sugar, so it won't spike blood glucose levels. But what makes it truly remarkable is its omega-3 content. A 3.5-ounce cooked fillet of Atlantic mackerel contains about 230 calories, 21 grams of protein, 42% of the daily value, and over 2,600 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, more than even salmon. These fatty acids help reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, and protect blood vessel linings from the oxidative stress that diabetes can cause. This same serving provides over 500% of the daily value for vitamin B12, nearly 100% for selenium, and excellent levels of vitamin D, niacin, and phosphorus, all nutrients that help heal the nervous system, regulate insulin, and support kidney and cardiovascular function. Mackerel is deeply satiating, making it an ideal choice for blood sugar stability throughout the day. However, a common myth is that all mackerel is high in mercury. In reality, smaller varieties like Atlantic or Pacific mackerel are low in mercury and completely safe for regular consumption. King mackerel, on the other hand, should be avoided due to its high mercury content. For a simple and healing diabetic meal, season a 4-ounce fillet of Atlantic mackerel with lemon, paprika, garlic, and olive oil, then bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. Pair it with sautéed spinach or roasted Brussels sprouts for a nutrient-rich plate that balances blood sugar and fuels nerve regeneration. Keep portions to 3.5 to 4 ounces per meal, about the size of your palm, which gives you therapeutic levels of protein and omega-3s without overwhelming your digestive system or calorie intake. As a precaution, always choose wild-caught Atlantic or Pacific mackerel, and avoid king mackerel due to its high mercury content. For people with diabetes, mackerel is more than just safe. It's a deeply healing fish that helps reduce A1C, protect the heart, and calm the inflammation that drives diabetic complications. The next fish is wildly popular, but here's what most diabetics don't know about it. Choosing the right kind can make all the difference between healing inflammation or silently increasing your risk. Seventh on list, tuna. Tuna is one of the most accessible and protein-rich fish for people with diabetes, offering a low-carb glycemic index 0 option that won't raise blood sugar but can significantly improve metabolic health. A 3-ounce serving of canned light tuna in water delivers just 100 calories, 0 carbs, and 20 grams of protein, 40% of the daily value, making it an ideal choice for blood sugar stability and appetite control. Tuna is naturally lean and provides a solid dose of omega-3 fatty acids, about 250 to 500 milligrams per serving, along with selenium, vitamin D, and B vitamins, especially niacin and B12. These nutrients help reduce systemic inflammation, protect nerves, and improve insulin function over time. The high protein content slows digestion and keeps post-meal glucose levels steady, helping to prevent crashes and spikes that can worsen insulin resistance. One common myth is that canned tuna lacks nutrition compared to fresh fish. But in truth, canned light tuna, especially skipjack or tongol, retains most of its omega-3s and protein while being affordable, shelf-stable, and easy to prepare. However, not all tuna is created equal. Larger species like albacore and yellowfin can accumulate mercury, so it's important to choose light tuna for regular consumption. For a fast, diabetes-friendly recipe, mix 1 3-ounce can of tuna with mashed avocado, chopped celery, lemon juice, black pepper, and fresh parsley. Serve it in lettuce wraps or on top of a bed of greens for a no-carb, high-protein meal that protects blood sugar and nourishes your cells. Portion control matters. Stick to 3 to 4 ounces per serving, whether canned or grilled, to balance protein intake without overdoing mercury exposure. As a precaution, limit albacore tuna to no more than once per week, especially for seniors or those with kidney concerns. For most people with type 2 diabetes, light tuna offers a powerful way to control blood sugar, reduce inflammation, support nerve function, and stay full longer, without the need for any complicated prep or expensive ingredients. And finally, we move to something gentler. Light, lean, and easy on digestion, this last fish delivers high protein without the fat, making it ideal for blood sugar control and evening meals. Eighth on list, cod fish. Cod, common name, demersal fish, genus Gaddis, belonging to the family Gattidae, is one of the cleanest, leanest sources of protein for people with diabetes, offering powerful support for blood sugar control without any carbs, sugar, or glycemic load. A 3.5-ounce cooked fillet of Atlantic cod provides just 90 calories, 0 carbohydrates, and 20 grams of protein, 40% of the daily value, making it ideal for anyone managing their weight, glucose levels, or insulin resistance. Cod is naturally low in fat, but still provides small amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, about 200 milligrams per serving, which help reduce low-grade inflammation linked to diabetic complications. What makes cod especially useful is its digestibility. It's light on the stomach, easy to prepare, and unlikely to cause insulin spikes or digestive stress, making it perfect for seniors or those with slow digestion. Each serving also supplies over 90% of the daily value for vitamin B12 and around 25% for selenium, both crucial for nerve protection and blood vessel repair. Some believe that cod is too plain to be satisfying, but that's a myth rooted in bland cooking, not the fish itself. Cod acts like a sponge for flavor and pairs beautifully with diabetes-friendly ingredients like lemon, garlic, herbs, and olive oil. For a simple healing meal, season a 4-ounce cod fillet with lemon juice, thyme, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. Bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 14 minutes, then serve with a side of steamed green beans or sautéed Swiss chard to create a low-carb, high-protein plate that keeps blood sugar steady. Stick to 3.5 to 4 ounces per meal, about the size of your palm, as your portion guide. Because it's low in fat, cod is a great protein option to balance heavier meals or pair with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. One precaution: cod is generally very low in mercury, but processed cod products like frozen fish sticks or breaded fillets often contain added starches and oils that can spike blood sugar. So always choose fresh or minimally processed cod. For diabetics, cod offers clean, high-impact protein that supports healing without putting extra pressure on glucose control. Fish buying guide for diabetics. Before you buy any fish, here's what every diabetic should know. First, always check for source and species. Not all fish are created equal. Wild-caught varieties like wild salmon, Atlantic mackerel, and Pacific sardines typically offer higher omega-3 levels and fewer contaminants. If you're buying canned fish, look for options packed in water or olive oil, not soybean or sunflower oil, which can promote inflammation. The label should be simple: just fish, oil or water, and salt. Avoid anything with added sauces, breadcrumbs, or sugars. When shopping fresh, go for fish that's firm, not slimy, and smells like the ocean, not ammonia or fishy. The eyes should be clear, the flesh vibrant. Frozen is just as healthy, sometimes fresher, if it's flash frozen at sea. Just avoid heavily breaded or processed fish sticks, which often contain added starches, sodium, and preservatives that can spike blood sugar. Mercury is another concern. Diabetics with kidney or nerve complications should limit high mercury fish like king mackerel, swordfish, and shark. Instead, choose low mercury options like light tuna, salmon, sardines, trout, and cod, which are safer for regular weekly use. And don't forget portion size. 3.5 to 4 ounces per meal is plenty to get the healing benefits without overloading your body with protein or sodium. If you're buying frozen fillets, weigh them thawed or check the label for cooked yield. Lastly, look for MSC certified, Marine Stewardship Council, or wild caught for sustainability and cleaner sourcing. Eating the right fish isn't just about taste. It's about healing your metabolism, supporting your organs, and rebuilding your body from the inside out. Shop smart, eat clean, and let food do what medicine often can't. Final thought. At the end of the day, these 8 fish aren't just safe for diabetics. They're some of the most powerful healing foods you can add to your weekly routine. Whether you're looking to lower A1C, reduce inflammation, protect your nerves, or just stay full without blood sugar spikes, these fish work with your body, not against it. Just remember, portion control matters, preparation is key, and quality always beats quantity. So now it's your turn. Have you tried any of these fish in your diabetic meal plan? Which one surprised you the most? If you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to see it. We have more science-backed diabetic food videos coming your way. Stay healthy, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next one.